Welcome to What It Should Be. I'm JD.
I'm Dean.
And we got Gen Zer with us today.
Gen Z, brother.
Gen Zer.
What's up, Gen Z, brother? Can't see you, but that's all right.
He's here.
Yeah, good for him.
He's here. So, border issue. What's going on? That seems to be the biggest deal.
It's I guess it's a fluid situation right now, right? The Supreme Court 5-4 said that the Biden administration can pull down the razor wire that Texas has put up along the border. And apparently Abbott's like, go fuck yourself. We're not going to do that.
So I don't know if it was, did you see anything? Because it looked like they're letting them take it down and then they immediately put it back up. Because that was the ruling, like in the most.
That's kind of what I'm getting from it. Is that that's pretty much what they're doing.
Because the ruling was that the federal government can take it down, not that they can stop them from putting it up. So
take it down. He tweeted out yesterday that the Texas National Guard continues to hold the line in Eagle Pass. Texas will not back down from our efforts to secure the border in Biden's absence.
Yeah. So where does this go? Is it does this go to Texas? Does this go to national divorce?
There are people right now calling for Texas to secede from the union. So
you think it happens?
No, not at all. No. But it'd be fun. Like if they put it up to the vote, I'm voting for it for sure.
If it did happen, do you think the U.S. government would allow it to happen?
No. Why would they allow it to happen?
What are they going to do? Roll in here with tanks? Is that what you think they'll do? The army?
Yeah. If we seriously tried to do it, for sure. Yeah. They declare an insurrection and then roll the fucking National Guard in or the army or something. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know if they're strong enough to do that right now.
The fuck, they're not strong enough to do that.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about military power. I'm talking about like leaders. Like, is the appetite for it?
I think if Texas actually tried to do it, you'd see people around the country be like, "Fuck them, they can't do that. How dare they try and decide their own fate?"
Would they, or would you have other states coming to the aid? Be like, you do it. They roll in, we got you. Like Oklahoma.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yep. Yeah, like Oklahoma being like, you're not staging here, or
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but yeah, I think they would try to stop it. And,
what do you think? What do you think, Gen Zer?
Gen Zer? I don't know.
I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough support within the state to even think about doing that. Like we're so far away from such a thing.
Not. If Biden was to win again, is to win this next election, and more of this stuff goes through, I think the support would be there. I think a lot of people right now, are hanging on Trump going back to normal. I don't know, normals. That's not right, but hanging on to see what Trump does if Trump wins.
Did you see how he smoked her, Haley, in New Hampshire?
No, I didn't see that.
It's like a 14-point win or something. It was massive.
I saw DeSantis. DeSantis gave up his campaign.
He did.
So that means it's only Trump and Nikki Haley now, right? Or is...
Yeah, that's it. And she's an idiot.
Yeah. Well, somebody's giving her money to continue on.
But after this go round, like how much more money is going to pour into her campaign, really? Like it wasn't close. It wasn't even a close race. Like I think he got her by 14 points. So, there you go.
Do you think she
dominated Iowa?
Yeah. Do you think she eventually gives it up and backs him, or does she just be done with it?
She's gonna have to, right?
I don't know. That's what I'm curious about. Does she eventually support him?
I don't know what the next primary is. What is the next primary? I don't ever remember what the order these go in. But anyway, then the next one that he wins. I mean, if he wins 3 of them in a row, then she's got to drop out. There's no way she's going to win, and he's not going to pick her as a as the VP candidate or anything. He doesn't like her, so
Yeah.
he was talking real shit about her at the his victory speech. I watched a little bit of it. It's pretty good.
I wonder if he's still calling DeSantis what was he calling him? DeSanctimonious? Ron
I don't know. I
DeSanctimonious?
don't know, but he was pretty. He praised him quite a bit, in that victory speech. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think he's going to pick old Tim Scott for
You think?
his VP pick.
You don't think he picks Ramaswamy?
No, I don't think it's going to be Ramaswamy. I think it's going to be Tim Scott, which would make sense because then you get the black vote. I guess he'd say, I got my token black guy with me.
Who you gonna vote for?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
I haven't voted in the past.
Are you allowed to vote?
I'm allowed to vote.
You're only like three-fifths of a person, right?
I may do some research this year and actually vote.
May do
You
some
should vote.
research.
I got to be more educated. I'm not really educated in the politics.
That's most voters, I guess.
Yeah,
It's most voters,
Just go with the flow.
most people.
pretty much. Yeah,
That's
they just
why.
pick their team, whatever their team is,
Yeah,
Republican,
whatever.
Democrat.
Yeah.
That's why libertarians don't have more of a hold.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I vote Republican, and my daddy daddy voted
My granddaddy
Republican,
voted
or
Republican.
the other way
I'm
around.
damned if I vote Democrat.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh.
there you go. I'm gonna vote for Joe Biden. Actually, that's what I'm voting.
What
I vote for
happens?
Joe. That's my man. That's my guy. That's the dude. He's gonna save this country.
Mm,
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I don't think
He's
either.
doing a
of them
good
is.
job right now.
I-
6.2 million illegals have crossed over the border since he's been in office.
Ugh.
Doing whatever he can to keep them wide open. Which I don't have a problem with open borders, but you can't have open borders in the world that we occupy right now because you've got expenses and you got to be realistic about who's coming over because there's a lot of people around the world that want to come over here and fuck us up because they don't like us. So
Yeah, didn't they say down at the border they're catching people from like Africa and China that are sneaking in with these Honduras and these convoys? They have Chinese people in them and African people in them and people that are
Yeah,
flying
they're-
over. Yeah.
they're catching all kinds of people.
Yeah.
They're catching, Syrians and
That's the ones they're catching.
yeah,
That's what's
the ones
crazy.
Yeah, 6.2 million have crossed. This 6.2 or 6.3. Anyway, 6 million people crossed over since Joe Biden took over. That's the number that they've caught, or they know about it. Have come through. That's not counting the ones that they never found and they never saw. And how many
It's
of
crazy.
those are coming
That's
over? We don't know.
terrible.
It's awful. I'm not a big believer in the whole great replacement theory, but
Well, I mean, the
uncontrolled border is definitely not a good policy to have either.
yeah, I mean the replacement stuff. 10 years ago, the Democrats were saying that out loud. Now that's the hush hush. But 10 years ago, they were saying it. They'll never win. Republicans will never win again because we're letting all these illegals in. Well, they weren't saying it that way, but they were saying the demographics will change.
Undocumented, what do they call them? Undocumented immigrants or undocumented
Undocumented immigrants.
something like that. Yeah, instead of illegal immigrant. Yes, no person's illegal, JD. They're just undocumented.
What other stories are going on out there?
I don't know, man. I did see this article. It came out on the 18th. It was about how the U.S. is pumping so much oil that it's screwing up the oil market for OPEC.
Oh, really?
We are. Oh yeah. It says the U.S. oil supply growth continues to defy expectations. Said the International Energy Agency. The U.S. is producing more oil than any country in history. 13 million barrels per day.
Damn.
Good
Wow.
stuff,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's great. It's fantastic.
Money.
It's money. Yeah. Well, it's also, gas prices have been pretty low here lately. It's kind of wild from where they were,
Man, I'm bad at
despite
keeping
all the
up with gas.
inflation.
I'm bad at
Like,
keeping up with
oh,
gas
did you ever-
prices.
You got a good mileage car.
Yeah.
Or you just
I
make
tell you
so
when I
much
keep
money
up with gas prices is when we go on a road trip. I'm like, what? A couple years ago, I think we were in Idaho. And we like crossed over. It was like $5.05 a gallon.
What?
And it was like $2.80 back at home. We were like, what the
Jesus.
heck? Yeah.
$5 a gallon.
Of course, we were
Guess that
way.
high-
I mean, we were way out in the middle of nowhere too. So some of those places, it's high just
Yeah.
because you're so far out. But
Yeah.
yeah, even still,
Yeah. that's
Donald
pretty
Trump.
low.
Donald Trump says that he'll end Joe Biden's electric vehicle mandate day one.
Yeah, he should. Trump also said something about being against CBDCs, the central bank digital currency.
How much do you want to
And-
bet Trump? Oh, go ahead.
No, what's his name? The other guy that's running, RFK Jr. Got a fucking eyelash in my eyes.
I haven't even heard anything about RFK Jr.
Yeah, he's dead in the water, man. He ain't going anywhere. But he came out and said that he's against the CBDCs as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much you want to bet Trump has no idea about that? Someone told him to say it.
I bet he knows more than you think he does.
Think so?
I don't think he's a stupid guy. I think he knows what's going on in the world, especially when it comes to stuff like that.
All
Everybody wants to think he's dumb, but dumb guys don't become billionaires or make the money that he's made and done the things that he's done. So
Does Joe Biden know what that is?
I don't think Joe Biden knows what he is. I don't think Joe Biden knows where he's at half the time.
He just wants some ice cream, chocolate chip.
Dude, Chuck, is that what he said?
Yeah, well, I guess he was talking about what he had ate on Christmas or something, and he was like, "Yeah, we had nice lasagna." And then if I remember, I watched it, but then I think Jill leaned over and said, "And ice cream." He was like, "Oh yeah, it's chocolate chip ice cream."
Chocolate chip ice cream. You like chocolate chip ice cream? I don't.
I don't know that I've ever had chocolate chip ice cream.
What is that? Have you never had chocolate chip? Have you eaten ice cream?
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever
If it's not laced in tobacco, then tobacco spit, you're not going to eat it.
around my house. It's Bluebell cookies and cream,
Oh yeah, that's my
like
jam right there.
without fail. If I can
Is that the only
talk,
thing you eat?
well, that's the only thing my wife and kids want. Sometimes I can talk them into Bluebell pistachio almond, but
No. You've lost
that's
me
my
there, bud.
favorite.
I like the Rocky Road, and I love cookies and cream. Apparently, Bluebell invented cookies and cream ice cream.
Huh.
Uh,
Well, Bluebell's the best.
Unless they give you listeria and you die.
I haven't done that in a while.
It didn't happen though. They killed some folks, or people were out there licking your ice cream before you buy it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was a bad run of luck, wasn't it? They had to shut down and almost went out of business because of listeria. And then you had people running around licking their shit. And they're having to pull all that stuff off the shelves because people were licking their containers. That was some bad shit.
It's a
God
bad
bless
run.
the Bass Brothers for stepping in.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this Texit deal seems like it's picking up more steam.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did you just see something about it?
Well, it's just I'm scrolling through X. I don't think I'm
X.
ever going to get used to calling it X, but
No.
and it's of course it's probably the people I follow, but it's every third post is Texit.
Yeah. I don't know why he changed it to X. I mean, what is his deal with X?
I don't know.
Texas Mises Caucus says, "What do you think it's time for, Texas?" I mean, I'm down for it, dude. You know, if it happens, I'm all for it. But I don't know.
Yeah, did you already what Abbott says in response to the Supreme Court's ruling, he will continue to defend Texas' constitutional authority to secure the border and prevent the Biden administration from destroying our property.
Yeah, he put out this letter today where he said the federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. The executive branch of the United States has a constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting states, including immigration laws on the border or on the books right now. President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and has even violated them. The result is that he has smashed records for illegal immigration. Then he goes on later in the article, he says, the failure of the Biden administration to fulfill the duties imposed by Article 4, Section 4 has triggered Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, which reserves to this state the right of self-defense. Oh, shit. For these reasons, I have already declared an invasion under Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 to invoke Texas' constitutional authority to defend and protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land and supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary. The Texas National Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and other Texas personnel are acting on that authority as well as state law to secure the Texas border. Basically, he just told the Biden administration and the Supreme Court to go fuck themselves. You're violating the Constitution. We're enacting, what was it? Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3. I don't know what that says, but he's not happy about it.
So what is the outcome of this? So you think it's just going to, if it is going back and forth where the federal government takes it down and the Texas Guard puts it back up, do we just continue doing that, or is it at some point the feds
or does it get to a point where the National Guard, the Texas Guard, goes down there with loaded rifles and confronts the Border Patrol and tells them to get the fuck off the property and move away?
Isn't that who's putting it up? Is the Texas Guard?
Yeah. Yeah, so what happens when Border Patrol shows up to pull it down and the guard says, no, I don't think so. You're going to have to back away.
Right, that's what I was getting at. Does it pop off?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that
I
be
don't know.
a shit show? You gonna join the Texas Guard?
Maybe.
The National Guard?
No, the Texas Guard.
No, that's the Texas National Guard. That's
Texas National Guard, whatever.
Yeah. The State Guard is a joke organization. A bunch of traffic. They're a bunch of traffic cops. They don't do firearms training. They don't do shit. No, they don't carry guns. So what's the point?
Do any other guards, state guards, carry guns and do military training?
I think the California does.
Really?
Yeah, I think California Guard does. I think the Florida State Guard is starting to. They didn't have one for a while. I think DeSantis is the one that fired it back up. Yeah, I don't know. Most states, a lot of states don't even have a state guard.
This is where we need Chad's opinion, being a military man. But he's not here.
He's not here.
He's working.
Working. Like he's got fucking bills to pay or something. He's got 10 million kids to pay for.
Oh, man.
I should be at work, but I opted not to go.
Yeah, me too,
Yeah.
actually. So.
Did you? You're not going tonight?
No, I'm going tonight. Last time. Last time.
You had a
I
good
didn't go.
reason for it.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Well,
What
it's
else
a
you
high
got?
energy one.
What?
What's going on with the Libertarian Party? You're the one that keeps up with that shit. Is there anything new?
Man, I have had so much going on that I really haven't kept up with much. And to be fair, I got hooked into that book series. Excuse me.
Oh, that what was it called? Black Autumn or whatever.
Yeah, I got hooked into that series, and so
No.
I've
I
been
keep
all
trying
over
to
it.
power through that first book, and it's exhausting.
I like it. I'm on like the 6th book.
Are you really? You're on
Yeah.
like the second book when I talked to you the other day.
Yeah.
Books
Oh,
are for
wow.
nerds.
Gen Zer here.
Says the only one with a DWI.
Every podcast.
Books are for
Oh,
nerds.
shit.
That's
Books
what he
are
says.
for nerds. Yeah, books are for nerds. You should only watch TikTok.
I'm just curious. Have you ever read a book start to finish?
Start to finish
Yeah.
in school.
That's it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like
I
The Great
think-
Gatsby or something?
I think I could get
Okay,
back
first.
into books though.
Back into books. Like you were ever into books?
Yeah.
You just gotta find something that you that you're interested in reading. Like I like reading.
I'd rather do podcasts than books or audiobooks. I just don't
Well,
like
yeah,
reading.
audiobook is pretty much how I do it now.
I might have to
How
start
Davey
taking
does it.
Adderall again to get to front to
Good
back.
grief.
This fucking stupid.
That's what's wrong with Gen Zers.
Yeah.
Did you get a deer this year?
Nope.
Why not?
Cause I shot pretty
Missed.
good and tracked it for about 4 hours and gave up. So now it's
Oh,
cold
so
and
you didn't shoot very good then.
Sounds that way. Sounds that way.
It was
Yeah.
shot in the lungs because what is it? It was coagulated or whatever it's called. And
If you
was
hit it
pretty
in the
big.
lungs, there's no. How did you lose it? It should have dropped pretty quick.
It
blew its lungs
dropped,
out.
but I left the blind in about a minute and then snuck up on him and he darted. So took me about 2 hours. Called a buddy.
You know you're not supposed to do that, right? You're supposed to give it like at least 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
You gotta let it bleed out.
Wrong.
Yeah. Because the
I
moment it thinks it,
should've,
because then
but
it spikes adrenaline, and then
that's
it's
what
going.
happened. Because he jumped over the fence and
Are you a hunter, Dean? Have you ever been hunting?
No, I've never been hunting. I would love to go. I've never been.
Never deer hunted.
No.
we'll go next year.
Let's do it. Let's go hog hunting. You want to go do that?
Yeah, we can go hog hunting.
There's a couple out
Shoot
there
some
this
pigs.
year.
Sure. My dad liked to tell this story when I was younger about his buddy went and bought a brand new Weatherby rifle, real expensive. They went deer hunting with it and shot this big ass buck. I don't remember what it was. It was a big buck. And he ran right up on there and mounted the fucking rifle right on the horn, right on the antlers. And his other buddy was taking a picture. And just as he snapped the picture, the fucking deer got up and took off. And they never found the motherfucker. So somebody came upon a dead fucking buck with a fucking big ass fancy rifle attached to its antlers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of deer hunting and that kind of stuff, I've been in that book series. I've been all about the in the prep and stuff. I do every time I get one of those prepper type books.
It gets you going again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh God, I need to buy beans and flour.
Yeah. I don't even like that book, but I'm all like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I'm thinking about like what's gonna happen if the world falls apart. You go hunting, you're gonna go out hunting? No, because all the fucking animals are gonna run away because everybody's gonna have the same idea. There's gonna be nothing out there.
Yeah. I told a guy about those guy I was working with years ago. I was telling him about this. I think I was reading the Going Home series at the time. And I was telling him about it, and he was like, we hadn't talked about it in like an hour. We had talked about it, and it'd been an hour or two. We hadn't talked about it, and he goes, man, I'm freaking out over here. And I was like, wait. He's like, he goes, I'm sitting over here freaking out, like I don't have anything. He was like, I guess if something like that goes down, I'll just go to like Cabela's and try to get what I need. And I was like, yeah, too late, bro. You and everybody else in a, I mean, how many people are in DFW? A couple million?
Millions, yeah. Everybody's gonna have the same idea. Well, you look at it with the pandemic. Whenever they started shutting shit down, you went to the store. There was nothing on the shelves. There was no toilet paper. There was no meat. There was no vegetables. There was nothing because everybody had the same idea. I remember before the pandemic really got going. I had some money in my pocket, and I told my little sister who lives with me and won't ever go away for some reason. I told her, hey, I said, we need to go buy some food before this shit goes down. You know, I think it's going to get bad. And she's like, yeah. So we ran around for like 2 or 3 days, just buying up everything we could get our hands on. Stocking our the freezer, stocking the pantry, just buying pasta and beans and rice and all kinds of other shit, right? We had tons of stuff, tons of food. And I just remember we were standing in line at Walmart. We just loaded up 2 baskets full of stuff. And this woman was in front of us, and she's like, what are you all doing? We're like, we're getting ready for this pandemic. And she just kind of smiled and giggled like we were dumbasses, you know? And it was like 2 days later, they started locking shit down, and you saw the stores empty. And we're like, I bet that bitch isn't laughing now. But she was wishing 2 days ago that she should have gone shopping like we did.
Do you prep
No.
Do you know what we're talking about prepping?
Yeah, we talked about it before on the last podcast. Last couple.
Because I've been in this book series. We should do a podcast, a prepper podcast.
Let's do it right now. What's going on? Let's prep.
We got nothing else to talk about. We're just
Yeah, fuck it. Let's talk
Sitting
about the
here.
things we like, which is prepping. Like, what do you think? Okay. So you're starting over brand new, right? You're starting out. What is the first thing you're gonna do?
like in life,
What do you
like
need?
starting over.
Yeah, so
Alright.
okay, so you're gonna you say I got to get ready for whatever happens, like whatever your scenario is. Could be a hurricane or earthquake or the collapse of society, whatever your thing is. So, what is the first thing you are going to start focusing on?
For me, I think
with
the
your
first thing
press?
is getting further out, getting more than a day's walk from a metropolitan area.
That's the
where I
first thing you
want.
focus on.
That's where right. If I was start like right now, what do I need to get done? That would be it.
That's the very first thing. I
You?
disagree. I focus on food and water first, and medicine.
Yeah, I mean that's
Because
okay.
it doesn't matter if you go out and you spend a bunch of money on some land that's, more than a day's walk out, and then the world falls apart or whatever, and you go out there and you have nothing to take with you. You got no food, no water. Great, you got some land. Big fucking deal. What else are you gonna do? But even if you don't have anywhere to go and you just stay at your house and you kind of fortify it or whatever, at least you have food and water to drink.
If you can defend it,
Yeah.
you defend the hordes of folks.
Yeah. The hordes of folks. I think if you live in the city and you can't get out of the city, then you need to become active in your neighborhood and try to get as many of your neighbors on board as possible. I used to talk to the whole place I used to live at. I used to talk to my neighbors about that all the time. Like, shit goes sideways in the world. And then that pandemic came, so then we were like, oh shit, what if it does go sideways, But we used to talk about it all the time. Like let's sit around, drink beer, and they'd say, so what's the first thing we should do? And I said, the first thing we need to figure out is where everybody's going to take a shit.
Yeah.
Because, that's the most important thing, right? At that moment, how do we figure out where everybody's going to shit? Or take their shit and get rid of it?
Yeah, there's a lot to it. There's
so much to think about.
And it's crazy because you read those prepper books and, like some of them, they're doing a great job, but there's still aspects that are leaving out,
Yeah.
of what's in it.
I mean, what would you think they're leaving out? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can be fully prepared. There's no way. There's always going to be something lacking. But for me, it's sanitation, it's food, water, security. And if you get those things, I mean, ideally, yeah, you need a place out in the country. But having a place out in the country is one thing. If it's just you and your kids, you're still vulnerable because people are still going to get there eventually. Groups of people could get there. So if you don't have other people in that area with you and you're all working together to provide security and to provide food and I mean, like, you could be like, well, I'm going to go out and shoot a deer today, and you leave the wife and kids at home, and when you come back, there could have been marauders that have come through and raped your wife to death and beat the shit out of your kids, and then you're like, well, fuck, at least I got a deer. Oh, did you disappear? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are you still there? We lost JD. He's gone. His name's gone. Doo-doo-doo. JD's gone. JD took off. JD's gone. Where'd he go? We don't know. JD's gone. Oh, man.
What happened?
Well, I don't know. Try to rejoin it.
You froze.
I froze?
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm still looking at your picture, making a stupid face.
I'm still recording. I don't see me freezing. Maybe it was on your end. Let me stop this and then we'll do it again.
Hold on. I'm rejoining.
There he is.
Hey.
Say something again, Mick.
Turn your phone off.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
that's right.
Check. Yeah,
Hey,
there's the echo.
check. My white
All right.
guy.
Some technical
and
difficulties
other
there that
guy.
Chad. Some technical
Chad's gonna have to
difficulties.
edit. Edit, Chad, you mother. But that's what you're not paid for. Oh, poor Chad.
Chad would be a good one because he doesn't seem like he's a prepper or has thought about it. Maybe he'll tell me different. Be a good one for this conversation.
I think he'd be good at it.
Chadwick?
Prepping.
Well, it'd be nice to have him around. I bet he knows a little bit more about military matters than we do.
Yeah. Wait.
What?
He says, Chad says, is this Haley situation another Biden situation? LOL. DeSantis and Vivek supporters refusing to support Trump, so they have all went to Haley. Just seen that she's leading the NH poll. New Hampshire poll, I guess.
I don't know how. I guess.
I don't know though, man.
I don't think she's gonna. She's not gonna win. It's gonna be Trump for sure.
Do you think that Trump and Ramaswamy's supporters, especially Ramaswamy supporters, have decided I'm going to go with? I mean, he was pretty anti-war, pretty libertarian, and they've decided.
Trump?
No, Ramaswamy. If I said that wrong, so you're telling me that they're going to go from Ramaswamy to Haley? I can't see that.
I don't either.
I see
But
the
you never
more
know.
likely. The more likely is from Ramaswamy to Trump, like hands down.
Yeah. I don't see how. I don't see how. He's okay. So in South Carolina, Trump is leading 52-21 over Haley. In Michigan, he's leading 61-13. He's beating Biden 47-43.5 right now.
We might have talked. What happens if Trump wins this thing? Do you think the country loses his shit again?
I think
Do you
so.
think the lefties?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be rough. Yeah, I think there's gonna be riots in the street for sure.
In blue cities? I mean, do you think there'll be, or blue states? I don't even know if they'll have them in blue cities. I mean,
What was that podcast? I think you're the one that told me about it. Where, this professor or something like talked about how a civil war could kick off in the United States, but he put all the blame on the right. He said like is the most likely scenario. It was going to be the right that caused it.
yeah, I can't remember that. It's been a couple years ago. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I eventually that podcast started off to sounding cool, and then eventually he got so left, and when I say that, I mean just not even like everything had to be. You know, it was like it was the blue and on thing, right? Everything was Trump's fault. That I eventually was like, you're so far off, so one sided. I didn't even finish it. I can't remember the name of it. It was like the next 2 weeks or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I never listened to it because I could already tell just from reading the description of how it's going to go. But I mean, in my opinion, if anything was going to kick off, it's going to be the left that
Well,
does
it,
that.
it
The far
definitely
left is going
feels
to be the one that going to start bombing people or shooting people or whatever.
yeah, it definitely feels that way.
They're the ones having the riots. It's not. There's not people on the right that are having these riots. It's always the riots and protests are coming from the left, and you always have these far leftist people like the Antifa and whatnot that are going out there getting people jazzed up to start smashing stores and everything. So, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. If Trump wins, I think you're going to see more protests. I think you're going to see riots, and you never know. You could start seeing like actual real violence against people from, you know what I mean, like bombing,
We
shooting, shit like that.
kind
I
of
don't
saw
think that's out of the realm of possibility.
yeah, we kind of saw some of that stuff. It was not really played up in the media, but you saw some of that stuff during the last one with the. Can't remember that guy's name, but he was like at a Trump rally with a MAGA hat on. Someone walked up and shot him. Some lefty.
Oh yeah, I remember something like that happening. I don't
Yeah.
know the details. Yeah.
So I guess Chad just put that deal out. I guess that poll was before DeSantis dropped out,
No, I don't know.
and it looked like Trump was sitting at 48 and Haley was at 51. DeSantis was at 31%, and then once DeSantis dropped out, because it's saying it was a political poll. I guess the New York Times did. I don't buy any of that crap though. They've been so off in the last two elections.
This is probably for. Is this for the actual primary?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
I don't know. But she clearly didn't win, so. And he's clearly ahead. He dominates her in all the other polls. It's not even close. She's not even close in all the national pollings, state pollings. She's distant, very, very distant. In Michigan, I'm sorry, I spoke wrong. In Michigan, Trump is polling 61.3 to Haley's 10.7. DeSantis at 13.7.
Is Michigan a more left or right?
I think it's a swing state. Can go either way. Because of Detroit, you got a lot of you people there.
Good grief. You have a lot of union workers in Detroit. A lot of people with union
Yeah.
ties.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what the military's looking at. With
What
the
do you
polling
mean?
of the military. With the polling of the military.
Do they poll the military? I don't even know if that's the name.
I think they did at some point. I thought I'd seen those.
I don't know. Doesn't seem like a good idea. What if there was a coup? Wouldn't that be interesting? Like Trump gets elected, and then there was an actual coup, and he was taken out by the deep state, whoever. How do you think that would play out in the rest of the country?
A military coup against Trump?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I guess against Trump, the lefty would be on board. There's so many different things that could possibly go on in this election. It's I know we've said it and I've said it on here every time elections around, people are like, "Oh, this is the most important one of our lives." But this one feels like it's got different consequences to it than the other ones.
It kind of feels like I think you're right about that. It feels that way anyway, but who knows? Could
Maybe
just go down as Trump won and he's there for 4 years and they don't let him do anything when he leaves, and you have a whole new slate of people come in, just like before.
Yeah.
I think to me, it all seems like what matters is, okay, say Trump wins. People aren't going to be happy about that. But if Trump wins and the Republicans take the House and Senate and the Democrats have zero power, I think then you're going to see some real issues. But if the Democrats hold on to the House, all they're going to do is try and impeach him again. It'll just be chaos again for the next 4 years. And if the Democrats take control of the House and the Senate, they will impeach him and remove him from office. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Is there any other stories? I'm bored with talking about this one.
About
What other
Trump,
stories? What other stories you got going on?
I don't know. Nothing really. I wish we could talk about our job, but that'll get us in trouble. There's a lot of stuff going on there I don't like.
Deeply, deeply pathetic moment. Trump humiliates Tim Scott in New Hampshire. Wonder what that was.
That seems he's a great guy. You have to do some editing, Chadwick. You're going to have to edit this, Chadwick. Well, all right. I don't know what else to talk about.
Hang on, I'm pulling something up.
Pulling something out. Up.
I thought it was going to be more, but I don't really see it. It says new Supreme Court case threatens to take away your right to protest. But it's by Vox, and it looks like BS.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something about U.S. and Brit. Did we do some bombing on Iran or Iranian?
Not on Iran itself, no. They've done some bombing on the Houthis. Hit them a couple times.
Houthis, right? That's what I saw. It said like Iranian-backed Houthis.
Yeah, they backed them. So we've hit the Houthis a couple times. Shot some of their missiles out of the sky. Blew up some folks in Iraq that were targeting the U.S. base there. And Iraq's not happy about it, but fuck them. I don't know. World's a shit show. What are you gonna do?
What else you got that's not politic related?
Get to go to Japan.
Yeah, how's that gonna go? Going to Japan.
Yeah. You need to get a credit card that gives you airline miles because it's worth it.
You can do a podcast from Japan.
No.
You're not gonna do. You're just gonna be drunk the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah. Just drink and hang out and hopefully not get arrested because they got a 99% conviction rate over there, so you're pretty much going to guarantee to go to prison.
Are you going to Tokyo?
Yeah, we're going to go to Tokyo. We're going to land in Tokyo, and then the buddy I'm going with, he wants to go to a bunch of different places. And it's not my thing. He wants to run around. And I'm like, go for it, bud. I might meet you somewhere, but if you want to spend your time running as hard as you can for this, I like relaxing on my vacations. I'll see as much of the country as I can, but I'm not going to break myself trying to see everything in 10 days or 12 days or whatever it is.
So what is it that you want to see?
I kind of want to just hang out in Tokyo for a while, and when I get bored of that, then I'll go do something else. I don't know. I don't really plan things out when I go on vacations like that. I just kind of wing it. I like to go to bars and hang out with local folks and ask them questions and get ideas from them. And once I have a couple of good suggestions from the locals, then I'll go, all right, well, let's go do that. And then I'll take off and go do it. I don't plan it out. I just kind of show up and go from there.
Sounds like a good time. There's nothing you want to see though. That's
Somebody's home. Put that phone down.
More for Chad.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's like landmarks or anything like that that you're interested in seeing.
Jesus Christ, these fucking dogs. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff I want to see, sure, but it's not like, hold on one second. God damn it. Hey, shut the fuck up! Stop!
More edits for Chad.
Fucking assholes, man. There's nobody even out there. They're just barking.
The way it should be podcast.
The way it should be. I hope you put, shut the fuck up!
All right, answer the question.
Jesus Christ, there she goes again. There's no landmarks that I want to see specifically. I'd like to go to Osaka Castle. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there.
Just wing it.
Yeah, that's how I always do things. I like to do it like that. What
I got nothing. I got nothing today.
This is it. What a shitty podcast. You know what it is? It's like it feels weird when we're not in the same room.
Yeah.
There's like a weird because there's a little bit of a delay because of the Riverside, and then it's just I'm talking to a camera instead of a person, so it's different.
There's I'll take some responsibility. I'm not up to date on much, so
No, you're not.
I've just been living life.
Aging.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. See ya.
next time.